Last week we celebrated my 4th year in business, which is so crazy. And while we were celebrating, we reflected on the journey that I've had so far. Well, that we've had so far, let's be real. Perry is a huge part of my business and I'm so grateful for him. But I figured it was about time I share my journey with you, because the one and only video that I've shared about my career journey so far is this video here. But so much has happened throughout my journey, and especially in the last year since that video was created. So I'm excited to be sharing my top lessons that I've learned along the way, my 5 do's and don'ts. Whether you're just starting or whether you're in the middle of your business, I hope that you find these tips valuable to help you along your way. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Faye. I'm a personal stylist and I recently celebrated my 4-year work anniversary. So I'm sharing my don'ts with you first. These definitely didn't help me with my business journey, and I just want to save you the trouble because I know that I would have appreciated this advice 4 years ago when I first started in my business. My first being to not go cold turkey from your previous gig if you can help it. I spent 8 months or so without a job, and I feel like at the time a bit of stubbornness came over me and I told myself that I just refused to go back to my previous career. I was telling myself that this was a new start, new beginnings, and I believed that I would just get my foot in the door straight away. Definitely wasn't true. It took me a bit of time, but I would highly recommend that you have a side gig or just something to keep you going as you transition into your new gig. So at least that way you're not putting a lot of pressure on yourself and you still have a bit of stability and security to fund you as you start this new gig. It's a little less scary that way as well because you've got a little safety net to fall back on. My second tip is to not sell to everyone. This is something that I gradually learned along the way. I wanted to serve as many people as I could, whoever I wanted to serve. The more people I spoke to who told me that I had to just pick, the right niche, the right avatar, it boggled my mind because in my head I would think, I want to serve as many people as I can. Why would I restrict to that one specific person? But over time, I learned that when you sell to everyone, you sell to no one. And so I really took the time to niche down. When I first started, I had a range of services that served everyone. Whereas over the years, I've really learned to refine my services and really speak to that person that I want to work with. And in turn, that has helped me attract the right person and serve the right person. So I know that when you first start, it's really exciting and you do want to serve everyone. And you know what? Maybe do that first so that you can also get a feel of who you want to work with. And then as you go about your journey, really take the time to reflect on who your ideal client is. Who is that person that you really want to work with? Or what kind of services do you want to offer? If you can mix the two, perfect, but at least that way can really help drive you towards selling to that ideal person and attracting the right person. If you're speaking to someone through your content, it's a question of how you can help that person. It's really important that you're either niche down on your person or the specific offer that you have to share so that your ideal client can see that and know that you're the right fit for them. Number 3 is about over-delivering and undercharging. When you first start, again, it's really exciting and you do just want to share as much knowledge and education as you can, even if it means pro bono to begin with, which I did for a few months. I would do pro bono just to get the experience, to get exposure, to get my name out there. I would host free masterclasses and I would give a lot of value in those masterclasses. And there's nothing wrong with sharing value, but when you're giving everything away, it doesn't give you the opportunity to sell your product or service. And at the same time, your ideal client doesn't then know that they can work with you because you're giving everything for free. And remember, at the end of the day, you're running a business, right? Your services and your products should be priced at what you believe they're worth. And over time in your journey, you'll realize that time is money. And the more you put into your business, the more you'll want to increase your prices and really price it at what you believe the value is. This is going to be perhaps an inner battle with yourself. I have definitely gone through that and still do go through that every now and then of, increasing my pricing, questioning whether it's right, doubting myself. But above all, if you do believe in your service and if your client sees the value and what it is that you're offering, they would not hesitate to pay what it's worth to be in your space and to learn from you. Number 4 is to not compare yourself to others, especially if you are on social media and the market is saturated. It's so easy to see someone and to compare your journey to them. But what you have to remember is that your journey is your journey. It doesn't matter if you are the same amount of years in business as that person. It doesn't matter if you live in the same area and you're doing the exact same thing, or you're offering similar or the same services. At the end of the day, your journey is your journey. This is something that I learned really early on, especially during the years that I was just struggling to get my foot in the door and to get clients. And I would always look at other successful stylists and question what made them different from me, or how come they could do it but not me. And over time I learned and realized that everyone's journey is different, and everyone's journey goes at a very different pace and a very different timeline. And what's most important is that you act according to what you believe to be the right steps at that time, really making sure that you hone in on your craft, hone in on the services that you're offering, making sure that they are unique to you, because that will attract your person. My last tip of what you shouldn't do is to continue offering services that you no longer feel passionate about. It's so easy, again, to continue to deliver and deliver without really checking in with yourself and asking yourself if it's something that you actually are passionate about delivering. And when you evolve and as you change in your business, you might desire new things, or your path may take a turn and head in a different direction. And so during those times, it's really important that you then make sure that you're aligned with the services that you're offering. And if you're not passionate about what it is that you're offering, don't offer it anymore. Because energetics are so strong in business, and if you're not passionate about what it is that you're offering, then your client won't feel that passion, and then they won't then be interested in your service. So whether that be cutting down your services, coming up with something new, really make sure that you stand behind the offer that it is that you're delivering, because like I said, your passion is what's going to drive you through, and your ideal client will feel that passion, and it will help them then feel excited for you and then want to work with you. To piggyback off that, I think it's also important that you really trust your gut and your instinct, and to do what you feel is right for you. Because first of all, remember that this is your business, and so you can run it however you want. And if you're stuck in this business that you're all of a sudden not enjoying what you're delivering, I don't think it would then be worth your time and energy. So again, it's really important that you stay true to you, do what sets your heart on fire, and that will really take you far and attract the right person for you. All right, I've just noticed the time and I have a call to jump onto right now for Style to Thrive. So I'm gonna head into that, and I will see you after to share with you my top tips on what you should do to help you along your business journey. Hello and welcome to the first Style to Thrive Q&A. That was such a fun call. I am so excited for the members of Style to Thrive to continue along their journey. If you're interested to learn more about this experience, I will leave a link down in the description box so you can definitely check it out and see if it's a journey that you might want to pursue as well. All right, where were we? So we've covered the don'ts, and now to cover my 5 do's. The first being to dip your toes in all specialties. Now this can be in styling or in general. I would highly recommend you dip your toes in all specialties of your area. That way you can really get a feel of what's out there. It will also help you make a decision of what specialty you want to focus on. Bear in mind though that you're not stuck to this specialty. So if along your journey you do decide to change or switch directions, move towards a different career path, you're welcome to do that. But at least by dipping your toes in all areas of specialty, you're able to really get a feel of what your industry is all about. And again, like I said, it can help you then make a decision when it comes to which direction you want to head into. Number 2 of my do's list is to continue investing in yourself. When I first started this journey 4 years ago, I invested in a styling course. I have to be honest though, after that, I didn't invest in any further mentorship or coaching or education or anything like that. And so it wasn't until during COVID that I decided to invest in one mini course that really helped me with my content. And from there, I felt a huge shift in my business. And I quickly realized that in order for me to continue growing and evolving and even just understanding the world of business, I had to invest in myself. And so along the way, I've invested in a few courses, I've invested in masterclasses, and most recently invested in a coach to help me guide me through my journey. And these investments can be small, they can be big and scary, but you have to remember that when you do invest in yourself, it has to be aligned with you and what it is that you're wanting to achieve at that time of your career. For me, I wanted to start small and just figure out how to communicate with my client via my content. And from there, I worked my way into marketing and sales. And it's at this point where I'm wanting to really grow and evolve in my business. And I felt the best way for me to go about that was to hire a coach, someone who could mentor me and give me their tips and expertise. So of course, at the time, it was a really scary investment, the biggest investment I had ever made in myself. And when you do have those kind of decisions, initially there may be feelings of doubt, fear, worthiness, and really questioning whether it's something that you really should be doing at the time. But I think that with these kind of decisions, you just have to trust your gut again and really ask yourself if it's something that you can do without, or if it's really something that you feel will give you the best return on investment, and how that can help you fast track and become better in your position. My third tip is to choose a platform or platforms that feel right to you. Initially, when you start, I think it's automatic reaction to want to be everywhere. But when you do that, you're spreading yourself thin. And when you're first starting and you're starting by yourself, what you may find is you'll put so much pressure on yourself to show up on every platform that eventually you won't then have the energy to show up on every platform. So I would highly recommend that you choose at least 1 or 2 platforms and do them well, show up to them with full energy. Over time, then maybe you can introduce another platform or hire someone out who can introduce those platforms into your business for you. But to begin with, I think that it's important that you don't give yourself a lot of pressure to be everywhere all at once, because that, on top of all of the other business tasks that you have to do, it may overwhelm you, and then you may find yourself burning out really quickly. So think of your audience, think of your client, the person that you want to work with. Ask yourself where that person could be hanging. Or you could also ask yourself which platform you enjoy hanging out on the most and which you feel the most confident in, and then start there, because social media is a whole other job in itself. So being able to balance that with everything else that you have to do in business can be a little tricky if you're doing it by yourself. To piggyback off of that, my fourth do is to hire out tasks that you don't feel the most confident or comfortable doing. This is something that I learned from making the mistake myself, is really taking all of these tasks on board myself. And I quickly realized that spending all that time trying to learn all these new jobs that I didn't particularly love, but I felt I had to do, that was a lot of time wasted. When instead, what I recommend you do is hire out to experts in those fields who can take away those tasks for you, if you can, if you have the capacity to do so. But at least that way then you can focus on your business and how to keep the needle moving in your business. Doing the tasks that you love to do will help you move the needle really quickly versus putting pressure on yourself to do everything and wasting a lot of time. Remember that when you do hire out, if you think that you are investing in someone and spending that money, just think of the return on investment. If it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of stress, a lot of juggling of your work, then that's a question for you to ask yourself if that's really worth it for you. Finally, celebrate your wins. Something that I didn't realize the importance of it until I would say in the last year was really to celebrate your wins. It's so easy for us to get caught up in the entrepreneurial journey and to just be so focused on going and going and going without stopping and really reflecting on your journey and really celebrating all the little and big wins that you've made. And when you do that, it allows you to really realign with the purpose of your business in the first place. I would recommend that you create a little ritual for yourself. When I first started and I would land a client, I had a song that I would play and we would just dance around. But something like that could easily boost your energy and again, just remind you of why you do what you do. You could do just something like spoiling yourself to your favorite meal or a favorite drink that you have, or just going out for a nice walk after you've achieved a win, whether that be landing a client or even just ticking off a task on your to-do list. But the more you do that, the more it will keep you going in your business in a really good and healthy way. I recently hired someone to work on my team. 4 years later, I never would have thought that I would even be in this position to be able to support another stylist. But that just goes to show how much can change in 4 years or even in the last year. And that is worth celebrating as well. Just remembering how far I've come. It's important that we take everything that we experience and never give up if this is really where your passion lies. I cannot wait to share the whole process of me hiring that new team member because that was a journey in itself. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on that, and give this video a like if you like this video. I hope that you found my tips valuable. All the best with your venture as well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! On the journey that I've had, well, I'm a personal stylist. Because I did these myself, and there's no way that I would let you really, and that's, what the hell? Someone farted. I can't even remember where I was.